I think we are live. And I think we have a new member, Jeff E. Did I just see Jeff E. join? Welcome, Jeff. It is live. Okay, everything sound okay? Voice sound okay? Guitar sound okay? What's up, Ron? What's up, Jazz? Strat CPO, Ian. What's up, Gary? BC Rich, Majestic PB&J Cat. Best name ever. Really is. Rock Nutters, Ben Coombs. No, the power's still on. You know what? We had a lot of wind, but the snow wasn't wet and heavy. Down on the Cape, the snow was wetter and heavier, and the wind was stronger, so they have a lot more power outages down there. Closer to the water and out in the water like the Cape is, the worse it was. Larry says we are live and the levels are good. And I believe him. What's up, Double R Guitar? And Jason says it sounds good. Hello, Jason. Ben Coombe. It was just a flurry, Ben. Nothing to worry about. You know, it's your your typical 1 meter flurry. Actually, not even close to that. I think we're gonna top out at about 2 feet. So not too bad. About 24 inches. Pete says it sounds good. What's up, Pete? What's up, Bryman? Magic Man. Funny ass guitar guy. Slamzilla. Terry 3G. Christopher Neiman. Corey's Garden. Yeti Motzi. Strat Tom. We got Trolls. We got Rock Nutters. We got Donnie. We got the alternative. You got Ricky. Says it sounds good. We got Theme. We got Frank. We got Mick. We got my man Buzz Wilson with the coffee. So that's a sip. That's a sip right there. And we have a sip. It's good. It's hot. It's hot there. Hot shot. What's up, Adam? All the way from Mississippi. Probably don't get a ton of snow in Mississippi. I mean, not that you don't, but probably not like we get it up here. What's up, Landon Bailey? We got Vincent. I thought I saw Pacifica go by. Mike is himself. I saw Matt. Christian. Dan Smith. Jay Schaff. Got a few people here. You found a PRS? Michael says you found a PRS. It's even more money than the double neck. I can imagine the crazy inlays and even triple. Is it a triple neck? Glad you snowed in. I know more. It's very light, fluffy snow. So the storm was so strong, and it's out to sea, and it's rotating. And as it rotates, it pulls down from the north, like straight north winds, Arctic air. So it started out at about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. That's slightly below freezing, and then it just plunged. I think it's like 12 or 13 degrees now. So it's like minus 8, something like that, in centigrade Celsius. In centigrade Celsius. So Frank C. asks a very important question. Did I get the snowblower sorted? And the answer is yes. And I was literally doing this in the driveway. Going, I am so smart. I am so smart. Right? S-A-S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T. So, as some of you knew, the snowblower would not start. And I did not have it for the last snowstorm. But it was also light, fluffy snow, but a lot less of it. So this has crazy big dunes. Like some areas of the yard, it's like almost down to the grass. And other areas, it's halfway up the side of the building, right? It's like that kind of snow. Right, you got drifts that are like 6 feet deep, and areas that are like 6 inches deep, not even a half an inch deep. So it just depends on where you were and what was breaking around you to break the wind so that the snow could actually get to the ground and wasn't exposed to wind to get whipped out, right? So it's like all over the place. But I knew I was going to want a snowblower. And so, as some of you know, it wouldn't start. I believe the gas was clogged. So I started to try different things. I could tell the primer bulb was just pushing back at me, right? It wasn't pulling. It was clogged. I was like, oh, what are you going to do? So I tried to fight it with chemicals. So first you have to see if it's even the gas, right? So you throw a little bit of starter fluid, like literally in the cylinder through the spark plug, and see if it starts up. And if it starts up, then you know you got a gas flow problem. You got plenty of spark, and the thing will actually run. You just can't get the thing started. So I was okay. I'm not going to start. It probably has some gelled up gas in the carburetor. And so I looked inside, and yeah, it was pretty bad. And I filled it up with like fresh gas, and you say, let that gas like give a chance to seep through. Maybe I can get it started enough to get it going. Nothing. So I said, okay, let me just throw a little bit of seafoam, right? Went and got some seafoam. A little seafoam in here. See if that like cuts through, does anything. Nothing. So I wind up going to, I think it was Lowe's, and I bought like a mechanic in a bottle and stable start. Right? I mean, I'm just like, here's my approach. You reach your arm across the shelf and you just throw everything in the basket. Yeah. And then I'm just going to throw everything in the tank. We're going to get this going. This is an 83 Kramer. So I was like, okay, this'll do it. And so if you read the mechanic in a bottle, they say like add a couple of drops in with the gas and see if that'll should clear it out while it's running or whatever. They're like, if it won't start and like there's nothing you can do, drain the gas out, pour the mechanic in the bottle in at 100%, and just let it sit. Let it sit for like 4 to 8 hours. So, and it will work its way through the system. I'm like, great. So I try the couple of drops, nothing. I said, whatever. I drained the tank. I got this wonderful friggin' bulb drainer. I got off of Amazon. God, that thing is so good. And I get the gas out into I had an extra gas can. God, I have so many gas cans. So I had an extra gas can. It was empty. And I threw all the gas from that tank. I even tilted it to the side and get way down in the corner, and I got all the gas out of there as much as I could. It's probably a couple of ounces left, but that's a pretty big tank. And I throw in the entire bottle of mechanic in a bottle, and I said, just for shits and giggles, let me just try it, and nothing. I said, all right, I'm just gonna wait, and I will get time to work its way, get the chemicals in there. I'll wait it out. The time will work in. It'll get down in there. So I waited a day. Nothing. I waited 2 weeks. Nothing. And then they announced this storm. They're like, it's probably going to be a pretty big one. They're like, oh, yeah, it's a classic nor'easter with a classic southwester. And they're going to meet up for a bombo and... gonna bomb out, and everything's gonna come up here, and we're gonna get a few inches here. So I'm like, all right, you better get this going. So we had a couple of cold days this week, but Wednesday was actually pretty mild. And I got out there and I drained what I could of that stuff out into the gas can that already had the seafoam and a little bit of the other stuff in it and some of the stable started in it. I just drained the tank as much as I could. And got it down to a tiny little bit, whatever the hell was left in there. Mostly, I guess, mechanic in a bottle. And closed it up and tilted the unit forward and got the bulb That's the international bulb symbol right there. Got the bulb facing me, right? The cup, the carburetor bowl, the bowl, right? The carburetor bowl. That's the international bowl sign right there. And so I got that going, and I was able. Well, first of all, you have to take a shroud off. It's a big pain in the ass, but I got the shroud off, no problem. Got the bowl exposed. Got the bottom of the bowl out, and in the bottom of the bowl was, a gummy bear and a couple of gummy worms. You know how that goes. It was absolutely gelled up gas. And I didn't want to take the pin of the float out because there's a little spring in there. And I go, you son of a bitch, you're going to lose it. You're losing this. Right? Just leave it alone. So I got a fresh can of gum out. I'm soaking it all down. And there's a hole, and the jet's up in the hole, and there's a little slot for the jet, and you can pull the jet out, but the jet didn't want to come out. I go, you're going to crack this. I'm like, just forget about it. And so I'm spraying the gum out up into the jet hole, and it's going up, but it's mostly just coming back down. And it came with a straw. I said, straw it up and really, really jam it. And I was like, yeah, get in there, yeah. And I'm jamming it, and all of a sudden, psh, it comes squirting out the other side. That was the clog. Jets were clogged. And so I let I went through a couple seconds of carb clean, and I squirting and all this stuff. I said, you watch, it's going to start now. So I get the bowl back on, get the shroud back on, button it all back up. It's all a bunch of 10 millimeter bolts. Get it all back together again. And I take my special everything on the shelf cocktail. It's got fresh gas plus, I don't know, quite a bit of seafoam and an entire bottle of Mechanic in a bottle in it. And whatever start is, they never really said what the start was. And I was like, you know what? I'm using the super gas, my custom blend. And I threw that in the tank, and already I could feel that the bulb was drawing in gas. And I was like, there you go. And it started right up. But it's running, and it won't stay running. I got to keep priming it, right? So there's like a bunch of stages to like stage 0 is it's not running. But stage 1 is it'll run, but you got to keep, hitting the primer bulb to force gas into the chamber. Stage 2 is it'll run, but it'll only run with the choke fully closed, because if you open the choke, you don't have enough gas to mix with the proper amount of air, right? So it stalls out. So, and then stage 3 is it'll work, but only about with the choke halfway open. And then stage 4, the best, is choke's all the way open, engine's all the way up, you can bring it halfway down, you can do whatever you want with the throttle, it all works fine. Then the carb's working perfectly. So I was seriously at stage 1 where I had to prime it, just to keep it going. But then all of a sudden I was right up at stage 2 where it would run, but I just had to keep the choke fully on to keep the gas-fuel mixture just right, because it couldn't get enough gas. And it was all the crap in that thing. And so I said, you know what? Let me just turn it off and let that gas sit in the bowl and try and break up some of that varnish in there and try and break it up a little bit. They recommend that. So let it sit for an hour. And went back out and started it back up again. And this time I didn't have to really prime it much to keep it going. It pretty much started and would run on choke. And I could get it up to half choke, but at full choke, it was still, in other words, the choke was fully open, right, instead of fully closed. It's pulsating, right? That's not good. It's, what do they call that? You know what I'm saying? It's throttling, right? It's bad. It's bad. It's not good for it. So, I get it back down to half, and then sure enough, after 10 minutes, boom. I mean, you could hear it. And I was like, oh my God, this thing sounds really good. And I threw it on full choke open, full throttle. Perfect. I could bring it down to half throttle. I could bring it down to quarter throttle, bring it back up to full throttle. I'm engaging the wheels. I'm engaging the impeller. Boom. I'm like, oh my God, it's back. It's back. And my neighbor, who has heard me out there quite a bit trying to get it going. He was out in the yard. He came over, and I'm over there going. He's like, he goes, I can't believe you got it going. I know, right? And he goes, yeah, I know. I heard you out here quite a bit trying to get it started. I'm like, yeah, finally pulled the carb apart. Finally just sprayed it all out and got it going. And now it's going. So, oh my God. Because, you know, if I went to bring that to a place, even if they could take it, it'd be a few $100, right? Everybody around here is like really expensive. And it's hard to even buy a snowblower. I went to Home Depot the other day. The only snowblowers they had left were in the, $1,300 to $1,800 range. And a lot of ones with big signs, last one, and there was a line of cars out front buying them and picking them up. So it's much better to get my snowblower working and ready for this, because this is, that's quite a bit of snow out there. Exactly, dirty jets will do it. I know. It's it's just one of those things that, how long is my driveway? About 100 feet. Sounds about right. No, maybe 80 feet. Because I got to think about the length of the garage. Yeah, maybe 80 feet. Well, my dad was a mechanic. We owned a garage. God, yeah, and he ran a small engine thing, and we had small engine repair in high school, but I never took that class. I never took small engine repair. A lot of my friends did, though. But I mean, I had a mini bike. Anybody with a mini bike, you quickly learn small engine repair, and how powerful and painful a magneto spark can be. Even if I could get it to a place this week, because everyone was so, anybody who had the same problem I had, was running to go get them. But a lot of the local, first, there's one guy that's local. He's rated like 1.5 stars. He's an angry dude, and everybody hates him, and I would never go there. And then there's another place that is there, but that dude is old, and I don't think he really does repairs anymore. He just wants to sell you a snowblower. And he's got all errands, right? He's got all, like, really nice. He's a top dude, and he gets real high marks. But he's not into the repairs. It's like, yeah, I was on my own, and I knew it. Actually, I can buy that identical carburetor off of Amazon for $16. Or I could go to my local guy and pay like about probably $280. I'm thinking, try and keep it under $300. Yeah, I'd never want to rebuild the carb. There's just too many little. I'm so terrible at that, and I get disoriented. I would literally just go to Amazon, buy the replacement carb. I think it's 2 10mm bolts. Pull it off. The hardest part is you got to take photos of it. It's got a very delicate spring for the governor, and you screw that up. You mess with the tension at all. You mess with that spring in any way, and trouble. So you got to take photos and make sure you put everything back exactly right, because there's 2 pieces of linkage, right? There's a rod, and then there's like a tension spring. I think that the snow out there is so light, I can probably use, I swear to God, my friggin' blower, right? And get a lot of it. When I looked out the bathroom window, out the back, 2 things. One, the downspout had blown off and was in the backyard. And two, there was no snow on the roof. None. I could not, because the wind was just so friggin' pounding. And the snow was so light. But it was on the ground. Right. I hate those springs. Keep a bunch on hand, right? I know, right? What's up, Blackjack? What's up, IRock Z? What's up, John Bank? Found a guy, picked up my snowblower, replaced the car, and returned it to me for $75. That's a no-brainer. But it's hard to find, it's hard to find somebody around here like that, It's expensive. Oh my God, a corded snowblower. I almost bought one. In fact, I had ordered, because I was so panicked about this storm, and they were saying it could be light fluffy snow. I actually ordered a Snow Joe, the one with the, I guess it's got it's a metal impeller with like a leather strip at the end, so that you don't tear up your driveway. And it's a single stage, right? Just it literally throws it up into a chute and out the chute, and it's corded. But instead of I think the cheapest snowblower at the Home Depot was $12.99. This was $174.99, which I can deal with. And I ordered it, and then went out and fixed the snowblower and ran right back in and canceled it. I was like, cancel. They're like, oh, you canceled it. What's up, Robert? In Omaha. You got a four-wheeler with a plow? Yeah, we usually get, my dad used to have a pickup truck and a plow, but that pickup, I believe, burned to the ground at an intersection. He stopped and it started smoking, and he got out, and the engine was on fire, and it got out of control real fast. The fire department showed up and eventually put it out, but it was really burned out. Actually, Florida is more panicked than we are, because this storm is so powerful and it's drawing down so much cold air. It's going to smash into Florida with air that's like, up here it's 15 degrees, 10 degrees. It's going to be like 35, 40 degrees down there, and they are losing their shit. I know, you don't want, exactly, who wants to mess with extension cords in the winter? Exactly, God. And besides, get a battery pack one. If you ever see me out there with a battery pack anything, I have just given up on life. Because turn in your goddamn man card. No. Gasoline, period, end of story. It's the only thing with enough power. I keep trying to do electric. I will say, I do have an electric blower that's actually pretty good. It's got some power. I got a Toro blower that's electric. I will give that, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But most electric stuff I find, of course, the electric hedge trimmers are pretty good because it's much lighter and you get the power. But you can't use a battery pack one. It still has to be a plug-in one. I still need 120 volts. You can't, not working off those, 12-volt packs or 18-volt packs. It's like big pain in the ass. You never have the battery ready, and it's always dying on you. But, it's like, oh, God, it's a big, just get an extension cord. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You're right. It's raining geckos. That's right. That's what they said. They said it's raining geckos down in Florida because they like to stay up in the trees, and when it gets so cold, they literally freeze and just fall out of the tree. Your Ego blower is more powerful than your gas one. I thought my Toro was more powerful. Then what did I have? I think I had a Home Light. What's the red one? Home Light, I think. And that was gas. But that eventually wouldn't stay running. You have a battery blower to clean gutters. I do clean gutters, but I don't use the battery one. I do use my regular blower, though. I just plug an extension cord through the window. And, every time I try to do something other than using the blower, it's never as good. The blower just cleans the gutters, God. So much better. Of course, the problem is falling off a roof. In fact, it's not even quite the falling. It's a sudden stop that gets you. God, I love this guitar. The action on this is so good. The Frankie neck is back. The Frankie neck definitely, eventually, showed back up again. I do have the Frankie, mostly assembled. I had to do a little bit of work here. Shimmery. Little shim here, little shim there. Little shim. I don't think we're going to see Bobby tonight. He had actually texted me earlier that they had lost, not power, but internet. Cable and internet. So he may not have his... he has a computer, but I don't think he can get online. They'd probably have to look at it through the phone. But yeah, I had to do a little shim here, a little shim there, and I got a couple of last little tweaks I want to make to it before it's done, and I'm just waiting for a couple of little parts to come in to finish that up. And of course, everything's friggin' delayed with the snowstorm, but they're already shipped, so I'm thinking this week I'll be here and I can get everything finally done and it's all done. But it did take a long time, and then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, I got a notice saying I was going to get a delivery the next day. And then sure enough, it did. It actually did show up the next day. You know what happened? Here's what I think happened. I think they couldn't get it on a flight. They had paid for 2-day shipping. That's flight, right? And they didn't pay for a flight, and then they stuck it on a truck. And the truck took 7 days. That's about right. 7-8 days from California to the East Coast. But then it probably came off, and they were like, well, what is this doing here? Right? It wasn't in the right place. It took them a little bit. It languished in the East Coast for a couple of days as they sort of figured out what was going on. And then boom, it was up here. Next thing I knew, it was in Connecticut, and then it was in Southern Mass, and then finally it got delivered. So... Lord says he's been seeing Kramers all over the place. Maybe I should get one as a sign. You know what? You've never owned one. You know what? I actually bought a Kramer today. I literally did. I bought a Kramer. I'll keep it as a little surprise. But you should check out the one I bought. I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers, and I bought it brand new from Sweetwater. And I did buy it and pay for it. This is not a euphemism for Sweetwater sending me a guitar. This is me going, yeah, and the code is 007, and yeah, okay, and yoink. So I know I actually bought it, but I bought a brand new Kramer, and I don't know. I'm thinking it'll be here in a week. How long does it take to come from Sweetwater? They're in the Midwest, so by the time they get it right, so I bought it on a Saturday. They're not going to ship it probably till Monday. Maybe I'll see it by next Friday, and maybe I'll have it for next Saturday. So we'll do a little reveal, but I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Very excited. Again, and I can't stress this enough, not a sponsored guitar. Me filling out credit card numbers and pulling the trigger, which I think, feels a little more authentic. Did I use my own affiliate link? I don't think you can do that. I think I did that once accidentally with Amazon, and they sent me a note saying, "Don't do that. We'll if you keep making us like have to police this for you, then we will cancel your affiliate account. So stop doing that." Oh, okay. But I'll tell you this much, if I have anybody, any family member or any friend ask me for something, I always send them an affiliate link. They know. They don't care because it doesn't cost them any more. It makes no difference in the cost of their product. Oh, I will say this, though. All the affiliate links, pretty much starting at the beginning of the pandemic, all slashed their rates. I do mean slash. In some cases less than half of what they prior to the pandemic, what they were. Because they're like, people are buying crap anyway. we don't need you to pump it anymore. And we're like, yeah, you probably kind of have us there. Oh, what's up, Steve? Thank you. Steve, did you catch the new Evh Colors on some of the... No, but we can take a look. Let me bring that up over here. You're saying Evh Colors? Let's take a look. Let me go to, oh God, hold on. No. I just had to cross out the, no, I don't want to subscribe to your newsletter. Okay, so what, did you catch new Evh Colors on some guitars? You know which ones they were? Which, is it the special? Is it the 5150? Is it the standard? Maybe it's down here. Anything? Anybody? Bueller? Although you look at this... God, the EVH. Just... the friggin' master. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Do-do-do. What, the pacer I'm holding? Is this a limited edition pacer in red sparkle? This is a 1983 Kramer Pacer Imperial. Official. Unless you're talking about one of these. Which it might be. Wolfgang Ebony. Wolfgang Special? Alright. So Wolfgang Special. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. It'll be coming in April. I kind of like that. That's you are ready for Easter, bro. You get that guitar. You are ready for the spring. That's a springtime guitar if I ever saw one. Go get yourself a Shamrock Shake. And yeah. I like the black. I like the outline at the edge. I like the sort of like faux binding, right? It's probably cut back a little bit. Or is it a real binding? Oh no, it might be a real binding because there's a black version. Could be real inlaid binding. Black looks good. Is it gloss black? Thank you. I was kind of getting fed up with all the satins. Can only take so much. See, that's satin. And, well, polar white doesn't really tell me. Is it gloss or is it satin? I don't know. Kind of looks satin, doesn't it? Not really seeing a lot of spectral highlights. The word of the day is spectral. All right, let's go back. Back one more. And please, there you go. Okay. Oh, baked maple. Look pretty good. Satin surf, yeah. Seafoam green, yeah. $12.99, so a little bit more to get the look. I'm sure it's a veneer. And like a blue marine, sort of like a, what are they calling it? Chlorine burst. Charcoal burst. And solar. I like that look. That looks nice, doesn't it? Jesus. There's your spectral highlight. Nice. I tell you that highlight can sell a guitar, let me tell you. Yeah. Looking good. Oh, there's another one. The old neck. I like the roasted maple. Roasted maple is such a soft feel. It really is. Very, very soft. It there's something about what it does. It cooks the sugars in such a way, and they caramelize, and resins crystallize, and the result, it really is. It's a soft to the touch feel. And you pick it up and you go, wow, this is so different. I think Fender announced some new stuff. I think all the Fender brands are announcing this week. Yeah, there's a new player Telecaster. Oh, God. Enough with your... Oh, Acoustasonic. Yeah, no, we know about that. No. No, stop. Stop trying to... I'm not signing up for your newsletter. Okay, so what's new? They don't have just a what's new area? Electrics? Somewhere? Just new? No? I guess that said new. We have to go to... Come on, guys. Am I missing it? Where am I missing it? Does it say somewhere right here? Beginner's Hub, Mod Shop, Fender. Come on. Come on, Fender. There's some what's new, but I wish this was a link. It just brought me to a page to all their new stuff. It's killing me here. Oh, yeah, right. Google it. Fender Guitars 2022. New releases. Thank you. I know they do this, but it's like, it takes a friggin', it takes a web crawl to friggin' find it. All right, here they are. All right, so again, I'm such not an offset guy. Offset guitars do nothing for me. And I tell you, if I ever did an offset, I swear to God, I would play nothing but jazz riffs and taps. Tapping, shred, and jazz riffs. All right, load more. So far, nothing too... Oh, that looks interesting. Let's open this link in a... Oh, yeah, it's a Squire. Nice look, though. I mean, for a Squire, it's got a binding, block inlays. Jesus. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Not bad. Nice looking body, too. Like I said, those... it's a pretty light... I got to think that's Pal Faro. Or, yeah, Indonesia. Everybody's gone so much in the, come on, where are you? Nothing? There you go. They're all doing Indonesia. It's really taken off. Ugh, my eye. My eye! Alright. What else we got here? Nothing? Where'd you go? You click on it, I swear to God that was some sort of overlay. I have to kill JavaScript on so many friggin' sites. Because they're just constantly JV modified. Is this a Squire? Are they doing a Squire? No, it says Fender. So they're doing a Fender. So they're doing a JV? From what? 80 from the 82 collection? From the MIJ? But it's not an MIJ. Is it an MIJ? It doesn't say. What does that say? Come on. It is MIJ. Made in Japan. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. MIJ, huh? Bringing back the JVs? That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Of course, I don't remember them having that. I worked at the store when they carried the JVs. I don't remember a color like that. I remember them being pretty conservative about the colors back then. They were so worried about it. Oh yeah, it's either modified, right? Modified. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty great. Where is it? Come on. Bring it in, bro. Nothing? I swear to God, you bring it? Okay. Oh, yeah. That is crazy. It's kind of like what my MIJ Fender looks like. And mine isn't Squire branded either. Mine is one of the late 80s Fender branded. When they were doing... Mine is an actual classic, right? A 50 ST54. But they did one... Oh, God, they did... Oh, yeah, look at that. JV 60s modified Strat. But they did a 60s modified. What's the modification? You put a maple neck on it? Because usually, if it was 60s... 60s would tell me, yeah, they got this website. There's so many friggin' overlays. Every time I go on here, it's like popping this stupid crap up. Huh. Well, it does have an outline. Now, this is something you could get in the late 80s. Right here. All right. You'd get a Strat. It would have a maple. Oh, my God, but they put a 70s headstock on it? Wow. Wow, boy, that's all over the place. Yeah, you didn't have that back then. What you would have is it would basically be like a 50s neck on a 60s body and vice versa. They'd put a rosewood neck, a 60s neck, but it would have a single ply pick guard, right? And it would be in like Torino red, right? It would be in like some sort of 50s color. But they would sort of mix it up, right? You could get, in fact, they did it on purpose. You would get a maple neck with the 60s body and the rosewood neck with the 50s body, and it was sort of a thing. But this, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what they're doing here. They're all over the place. Yeah. So they're really all in. Look at this, all this 40th anniversary, JV 40th anniversary. Is that Squire? Yeah. All right, that makes sense. Right, 82 to 2022. Now, I remember we had a couple on the shelf at the store, and they'd have a sticker on them that said, with USA pickups. And I remember a guy coming into the store, and he's like, oh, he really liked it because it was a good-looking Strat. You know, they made the quality coming out of Japan was friggin' incredible. It was a really, really nice-looking Strat. The guy's like, oh, I really like this fender. Of course, it had a very small decal at the end. It said Squire Series. And my boss was like, yeah, it's got USA pickups. He was like, what? Of course it has USA pickups. Oh, made in Japan? Oh, no. And he like threw it right. God, he was angry. He's like, made in Japan, how dare you? And I think at the time, I don't even know that we had a lot of USA. Yeah. We had the Elites. Remember the Elite Strat? That was sort of the last run. I remember we had a run like this in like 87 or 88. We had a run that came in with Seafoam, but they weren't Squire. They were Fender, and they were expensive. It was like one of the first rounds. I remember they came in with those colors, and I was like, oh, my God, that's a bold move. Didn't have pickguard like that, though. It had a regular pickguard. But that's the Seafoam, right? Seafoam green? Yeah, satin Seafoam. Seafoam's definitely different than Surf. Surf's a little lighter and greener. Satin, the Seafoam has got way more blue in it. Yeah, I was actually thinking back, you know, they're doing all the comparisons because we're getting so much snow. In 2015, we got like, I think we had 110 inches on for the year. And in 3 weeks, we got 80 of them. We got 80 inches in 3 weeks. That's when I bought the snowblower. I bought the snowblower between the first and the second storm. I was out at the NAMM show. The word broke about the storm. The storm came in on Monday. I flew home that Sunday. My friends who flew back on Monday, they were trapped in Atlanta. Couldn't get back. I do love a good MIJ, though. So there's your Fender stuff. Jackson came out with stuff, but it's all just, none of it's in my wheelhouse. I was looking at it earlier. What about Charvel? What? Right, because you figure, wouldn't you love a new guitar? James Charvel. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Do. Again, maybe I need to go to the Googs. Cheryl Guitars. 2022? Any direct? It says Charvel Guitars. Guitar World. Oh, okay, so there you go. Image credit Charvel. Graphite reinforced neck, Seymour Duncan pickups, compound radius fretboards. 4 new signature. Oh, you know what? Bobby mentioned it to me. That there was going to be a new Jake. He keeps tabs on that. He likes the Jake stuff. Oh, hold on. Oh, my friggin' leg is getting caught in. Here we go. Enough with your goddamn overlays. You like the green one? Yeah, the green one. You know what? The green one does look good. And green guitars have good tone. That's just science. Everybody knows that. Green guitars sound better. Oh, yeah. Hello. Oh, my God. I kind of like that green, too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude. Simple lines, weaving. It's the guitar that says, I'm like wicked classy and sophisticated. I like the green better than the blue. Not gonna lie. Nah. Thumbs down, thumbs down. That is a haphazard melange of discordant and displeasing to the eye. This is goddamn genius. That is gorgeous. I have to buy another guitar off of Sweetwater. Look at that. Looking good. The stable fund. Thanks, Jazz Flounder. In fact, I went with Stable 360 because it has a special ingredient for ethanol. So apparently in other states you can buy real gas. That's not a thing around here. We don't have an option to get gas without ethanol. So we have to use the stabilizers. Yeah. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. I like it. I like it. And then basses. Yeah. You know, that's not bad. I don't hate it. I like the green better, though. You know what? That's actually that actually looks pretty good. All right, that looks pretty good. Not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for a Super Strat. That does look pretty good. Yeah, nicely done. All right, okay. I'm still going green though. Yeah. You know, a hardtail on a Charvel. I don't know. Stay in your lane, bro. Floyd Rose or bust. You know what I'm saying? Hardtail? Really? Charvel? I don't know. It feels not right. You know what? That's actually not bad. I kind of like the look of that. Nah. Meh. The bubble gum. Meh. If you ever see me playing that guitar, you'll know I lost a bet. It's not bad. It's a little dark, you know, a bit metal. Buy it, go green. You say go green, gotta have the Floyd. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. Shame. Oh my God. We need to have a shame emoji for my people. Shame. 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 I didn't did it. Do. You know, that's not bad. It's got, obviously has a roasted neck. You know. It looks like the wallpaper in my aunt's house when I was a kid. And the blow. You know what? That's actually I kind of like that. I like the you know, the side. You know what I'm saying? The what we call that, offset dots or asymmetrical dots or side top dots, top side dots. It's something. I don't like that. It's got your Duncans. I do like a single double too. Love it on my SM1. You know, that is the classic you know, 80s shred, right? You're a little bit country and you're a little bit rock and roll. Right? Oh yeah, I don't like this. First of all, I like a painted or I like a finished. I like a more finished guitar. I always feel like that, like, you know, like when they're natural like that, they feel a little unfinished to me. You see what I'm saying? Very natural. And again, hardtail. Really, bro? Hardtail? Think you're pulling in the Joni Mitchell crowd? With the hardtail and the wood top? Help me, I think I'm falling. I'm all right. I'm declaring a winner. The green Charvel. And it's a green Charvel. Was it? I'm pretty sure Frank Zappa wrote a song about it. Yeah. There's a Jake Pro mod. Where's the Jake Pro mod? Where's the Jake Pro mod? Is that it? No. Let's go to Charvel. Come on, Charvel. Okay, view the latest. I like that. Oh, okay. New Satch in white Bengal. Now, those of you probably know $12.99. So what does his signature model go for? I want to say it's isn't the Jake E. Lee signature like $3,000 or something? Like Jake E. Lee Custom Shop. USA. Oh yeah. So $28.99. $12.99. $28.99. $12.99. Okay. There you go. Yoink. And what is it better, 1 or 2? That's 1 and 2. 1 or 2. I'm assuming this is going to be made in Mexico. Or is it Indonesia? Do they say? I gotta think it's made in Mexico, right? Isn't that where they go? They tend to go when they're doing imports. Pick up switching. And the gallery. Do. There's the pickup switching and the gallery. They're very similar. If longitude and latitude means that much to you, knock yourself out, bud. To me, I would have a hard time justifying the more expensive guitar. You know? Seriously. You know, pretty similar specs here. You know, if you want a bone nut, that's going to cost you an extra $2,500. Now, so what's the difference? $1,600? Right. That's considerable. More than double. Yeah, Mexico, right? Of course. That's where Charville tends to go, right? All right. Where were we? We were looking at the new stuff. Oh. Dude. Your guitar is scratched. Semi-pro. Yeah. I like this one. Kind of harkens back to the old Kramers of the late 80s. Right? Kind of the custom 2s. We saw a lot of these already. Anything else? Or they just sort of... Oh, there it is. I'm telling you, man. Lime green metallic. I don't like that one. It's like wicked classy. They're doing a new... I was going to say, are they doing a low-cost Coven? Nope. Nope. Rick Graham. You know, and I'm sure it's an awesome guitar. How the hell is Rick Graham not with Ibanez? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I don't get Ibanez. I mean, seriously. The guy has pretty much like been an Ibby guy forever. How is Rick Graham? It blows my mind. Unless he was with them and they no longer are together. Maybe they had a partnership and it ended. Yeah. Again, I'm just not into the plain wood guitars. You know, for $25.99, I wouldn't mind a finish. You know, like that. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that was the last of the new ones. Do. Hold on, just going back and checking the Yeah, I know. The only thing that could break through that storm coverage today, which was wall to wall on all local channels, was the announcement that Tom Brady was retiring. Then they had to walk it back a little bit. It's all over the place. Someone let something out, and I'll bet Tommy wasn't too happy about it. Supply and demand. Don't buy a guitar over the next month. Maybe prices will go down. You know what? Prices on new stuff have been going up, but I'm telling you, I've been following the used market forever, and the used market has jumped up a little bit. But for the first time in a long time, I'm seeing price reductions. They can't sell it. I'm seeing price reduced, right? So it's like, to a point, they can try and raise prices, but when you raise prices, you get fewer sales, period. It's literally how it works. And I just think that you're seeing a little bit of, you're starting to see some cracks in the used market. I'm not talking new. I'm talking about the used market. You're definitely seeing some cracks there. I'm starting to see guitars come back in a little bit lower and a little bit lower. There was a big shoot for the moon, pretty much starting in October, sort of crested in like November and December. And now it's sort of falling back to earth a little bit, without a doubt, right? So for a little while there, if you wanted even like a Squire, if you could even find one, they were getting like $399. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But they had some gorgeous Squire Classic vibes for $299, even $249 recently. And they haven't had that. They haven't had that in a while. They're coming back to earth on that pricing a little bit. Same with like American Strats. They're really pumping them like the elites up into the 16, the 15, 16, 17, $1,800 area. A lot of them are showing reduced price, bringing them back down $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 area. Because they're probably just not getting the sales. How long are you going to let the guitar sit there for? So, people, you know, as someone who's been around a long time and have seen many price hikes, trust me, the value you're getting today for the dollar versus what you got in the 80s is still way, way beyond, right? That Kramer, okay, this exact guitar, like literally this guitar, in 1983 on the shelf would have been $699 in 1983. So let's just go to hold on a sec. I'll go to a quick, inflation calculator here. When I say 1983, I purchased an item for $699. It was 5% sales tax. It'll be $735. We'll call it $735. That's the equivalent of $2,000 today. $2,000. You know, it was expensive. Expensive stuff. Do. And trust me, $2,000 for a kid in high school was a lot of money. In 1975, when we lived in Hyde Park, the rent for our house, including heat, was $75 a month. Do. Yeah, exactly. $2,000 for a workman in his 40s is a lot of money. Exactly. You know. People are saying hyperinflation, but I swear to God, I remember it being much worse in the summer of '08. I remember going to Costco and being like, wow, this is really bad. And I remember gas prices hitting like $4.50, $4.58 around here for regular gas. By January, the price had been almost cut in half. Because in the summer of 2008, it was the Beijing Olympics. And they were building a lot of the physical plant for that leading up to it, and they needed a lot of fuel. And pretty much the week after the Beijing Olympics, prices of gas started to really, really tank. And 6 months later, they were way down. Right? The demand was so friggin' high leading up to that event. And I remember as a kid, like sugar being very expensive, like in the early 70s. And I remember gas lines in the 80s, God, 1980, 1981, really bad. Really 81. Where in Hyde Park did I live? I lived in Reedville. Now this Chesterfield Street, the same street as Tommy Menino. And I remember the big push for mopeds in the late 70s, early 80s because of the gas crunch. A lot of people were switching to mopeds. A lot of people were getting hit and killed by cars on mopeds. Because we're not really Europe and that whole thing and scooters, and it was bad. It was bad. Then I remember gas getting, it was always around, it was $1 or like $1.05 or whatever. But I remember when I was in college, it shot up to like $1.35, and I was like, wow, $1.39. I was like, oh my God, it's expensive. And I remember I was driving back from class one day, and I would stop at this gas station right before the highway, and the guy kind of knew me. And I said, oh, geez, you're down to $1.15, huh? He goes, it's going to be even lower next week. He goes, it's in free fall. And he was right. He was right. Oh my God, it started falling. I'm trying to think, was that 87? It got down in the 70s. I could not believe it. Gas got so friggin' cheap. What was that? That had to be like 80. Is that 87, 88? And then it happened again like 10 years later, like in the late 90s. The whole thing, it sort of cycled all over the place, back up again. And then it came crashing down again. Yeah, see, we don't even have to deal with that. We don't have to deal with leaders. We bought gas at 28 cents, yeah. Yeah. My mother used to buy, sometimes we would be broke. She'd buy like $1 worth of gas. The guy's like, okay. But the gas was probably, 35 cents, 40 cents, 42 cents a gallon, something like that. See, the thing is they didn't know what to do about the inflation back then, so they just kept raising interest rates, but that just beat down people even more. And it didn't stop the inflation, because the inflation had nothing to do with interest rates. It was the fact that gas was incredibly expensive, and everything was shipped with trucks and gas. And then that gas got incredibly expensive, and it kept getting more and more expensive. And it really wasn't until gas prices came down that it really gets rid of inflation, because gas is tied to everything, because it's the main way things are transported. Have a good one, Charles. Yeah, right, Mike. Gas has always been expensive here. Small cars, scooters, things like that. We tried that here. A lot of dead people. Especially in Boston. You shouldn't be on the road with that. My car is a lot bigger, and it will hurt you. That's what you get around here. Oh, you shouldn't be driving that. Not I have to be careful around you. Oh. I do love the sound of these pickups, right? Take another look at this. You gotta admit, that's pretty clean. It's got some dents, but it's pretty damn clean for, coming up on its 40th birthday. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember generic beer, too. I remember generic everything. That seemed like a thing for about 3 or 4 years. And then people were like, no. No. We don't like that anymore. Hey, before I forget, a buddy of mine, and let me just start out by just saying, this dude I've known him for a long time, literally since he was a kid. He used to come into the music store, and I used to see him a lot, and I pretty much knew him through his high school years, and we've sort of kept in touch. But he, despite all my warnings, he chose a life of music, and he's got some pretty good songs. If you have any of the streaming services, check out "Smoke and Grass" by the Dream Eaters. I want to say September of this year came out. It's a pretty recent song. It's very much like a Beatlesque meets sort of like Neil Young, and anyway. The thing about Jake is he's an enormous goofball. All right, yeah, just never forget that. All right, the guy's a clown, but I love him, and he's a pretty damn good musician. Anyway, he comes out with stuff, and he does a lot of kitsch, a lot of camp, a lot of goofball stuff. Right, he's a goofy goober. And he did a video recently, and I put a link to it in the description. And some people probably found it last week and didn't know what the hell it was all about, and I forgot to mention it. But I'm going to mention it now. There's a video in the description, Jake's video, where a friend of his comes in and does this pretty ripping guitar solo. I think it's for a song. I forget if it's for Jack the Ripper or he does a lot of songs that are like very like happy, but like happy sounding songs about terrible subjects. And it again, he I think he couches it under the Dream Eating Freak Show, which is sort of a pandemic sort of offshoot to what he normally does. Anyway, the point is, I always felt like he needs to get more views. So if you take a minute and check out that video, I promise you, I am not kidding about this. It's got a pretty awesome guitar solo in it. It's only a snippet of the song. It's only the guitar solo. But the solo is pretty damn good. And it's worth a listen. So using the power of sharing through social media, I would direct you to that link and just check it out and give him a thumbs up if you like it. I think the guitar solo was awesome. And there you go. I just thought I'd put that out there. I meant to mention it last week, and I forgot. I almost forgot about it this week. Nice sound. Oh, thanks, Terry. Thanks for posting that. Give him a cut. Let's see if we can get him to 1,000 views. You know. I love that pickup. Oh, it's still going out there. But you can tell it's not nearly as windy. But it's still going. Yeah, it's blowing around. But I can see they've come by and plowed the road a few times. And you can tell from the side mounds, it's looking pretty good out there. Tax the snow, and in a certain way the snow is taxed because part of your tax dollars goes for the cost of the town to remove it. Without a doubt. Yeah, the wind was pretty crazy, but it doesn't seem to be as bad now. It's much windier earlier, like really bad. Like blew a downspout off the top of my house, and really cleared out quite a bit of space, like to the ground in spots, and my whole back. My back porch was just no snow on it. Well, the cats were freaking out today because the bird feeder was ballistic. You never saw the bird feeder so busy than today, right? Winds blowing, snow's coming in, and there are birds everywhere around that feeder because the ground is covered in snow, and they can get to this bird feeder, and we have it right outside the kitchen window. And all the cats were like freaking out about all the birds. What are the house finches, the red finches, and God, we got a bunch of different ones. What did I see out there today? Dark-eyed juncos, a bunch of sparrows, a couple of cardinals. There's a couple of mourning doves out there. A couple of blue jays stopped by. What else? We may have had like a yellow-throated sparrow, but they're more ground feeders. They won't feed at the feeder. They won't go up on the feeder. So at one point I changed the feeder out. You know, you fill the feeder up and you get all the snow off of it. You get the feeder filled up, and I'm hanging it back out. And I just took a giant. You ever go to a ball game and they give you like this massive cup? It's like a 32-ounce cup, big plastic cup. That's what I used to fill the feeder up with the seed. Pull it out of the bag and just use that giant cup to fill it up. And I had a big cup full, and I just dumped it right in a big mound on the ground. And those juncos were going crazy because they don't like to go to the feeder. They like to feed off the ground. And they were like, "Thank you." Oh my God, we had a squirrel on it early in the day. I literally opened the window and booted him off, and I had a quarter of a can of peanuts from literally not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that. And I was like, you know what? I don't know how good these are. They don't smell bad. They don't smell rancid. Right out. They were going crazy. The squirrels were like, it's like walnuts, almonds, pistachios. I think there were, what else was in there? Brazil nut. No, not Brazil nuts. What's a little macadamia nut? Peanut. You know. And that kept him off the, hello, bud. That kept them off the feeder, right? Distracted them. Massachusetts has 90,000 power outages in Massachusetts. Yeah, we have millions of people here. You know, it's a pretty dense state. That's actually not that bad. And they're mostly down the Cape, I think. You okay, buddy? You all right, bud, man? Not around here. I don't know. The lights were flickering a little bit earlier, but that was it. A couple of times, you know, we got enough of a break that the the fluorescent lights would blink off and back on again. I was like, oh, I don't like to look at that. Oh, buddy, you okay, buddy? Oh no, bud. Oh no, buddy. Oh, he's sneezing. My poor little bud. I don't know if I have 3 all-time favorite guitars. I do like that Select Strat. But, you know, I have so many guitars I like. You know, it's hard to pick a favorite. And, you know, your mood changes, you know. You know, one day you're into it, and then another day you're like, I'm kind of sick of that guitar. You know, it's not sounding right today. It's weird how that goes. And then all of a sudden you want this sound, and, you know, I want a Strat sound, and then all of a sudden you're sick of the Strat sound. You're like, you know, I really want this other, something else. You all right, buddy? You all right, bud, man? Oh, my poor buddy. Yeah, no, he was sneezing. He was definitely sneezing. I do like that Select Strat. I do love that. I love this Kramer. God, I love the neck on this Kramer. What else? That Volar I have is real freaking nice. You know, my old Evh, God, the years with that thing. I'm doing a big rehab on that. And my old ST, what is that? The ST54, my Fender one. I never play that guitar, and I find myself playing it, and I'm loving it, and saying, "Oh my God, I love this guitar." It's got a V-neck. It's got a pretty hard V on it. You wind up playing it, you're like, "Oh, that's right. That's right. This guitar is awesome." And you go in and out of phases. I'm saying, oh, you know, it's hard to pin it down. But do you have the Rona? I don't think so. I hope not. What Kramer did I order? Well, all questions will be answered. All fears will be allayed when it comes in. This is what we call a teaser. And again, if I didn't mention it, I bought it. This isn't a Sweetwater sent it to me. This isn't a Kramer sent it to me. This is me going on, picking out a Kramer, ordering it, buying it, and it should be here. I'm thinking in a week. You know, I'm thinking it'll be here by the end of next week, maybe in time for next Saturday show. Yeah, the Rosewood Telly's nice too. That's real nice. I know my cat doesn't like the dive bombs. No, I don't have the arm on, but it's right here. So bad news about the Frankie. I bought a 1984. Let me just get this. There we go. I bought a 1984 Trem, which is the reissue, right, of the original. I have an original Floyd But it's the modern, it's the modern German Floyd, and it's black, and I have a Floyd Pro, which is real nice, the Floyd Rose Pro. The Floyd Rose Pro, and I have a Floyd Rose OG Modern. But I said, you know what, for the Frankie, I'm going to get like the real OG, you know, the 84. I'll spend the money. I bought it off a musician's friend. They were the only people that had it in stock in the chrome. And it showed up, and it didn't fit. I couldn't believe it. The cuts, the modern one fits perfectly, works perfectly. The 84, the part where the arm goes in is a little bit more chubby. It's a little more bulbous, and it was hitting the side of the cavity. I would have had to route out the cavity a little bit. And so I said, well, before you route it out, why don't you make sure it fits? So you flip it upside down just to make sure that the two posts are going to line up, and it didn't. They just weren't quite right. The modern one, if you look at it, so I have like a cheaper one. On the cheaper one, the plate is one metal, and the actual part that touches the posts is a different metal, right? Because the plate isn't made of a very hard metal, and they can't have it. Right? It would ruin it, right? The one I have, the modern ones, they're all cut of one piece of hardened steel. Right? All three trims don't have that. They're all one piece hardened steel base, because they're the real deal. But the cutouts, the divots that go against the post, you know, let me show you. Right here, that divot is a narrower on the OG, and they're a little bit wider and more forgiving on the modern. And the modern fit no problem and worked no problem. And when it did, I said, oh, but you don't want to go with black. Just get the OG, because now that you know it fits, just get the OG one. It didn't fit. I was so bummed. Sent it back on a refund. Got a German Floyd that's still a swap for a black one. No, I already got it sort of going, and I kind of like the look of it. I kind of looked at it, you know, it sort of makes it mine by being a little different. But I still have to adjust it a little bit. It's getting there. It's getting there. I'm so close, but it's not. I'm looking at it right now. It's like 99% of the way there, but it's really not quite ready yet. We'll get there. Like this week. I have a good feeling about it. First thing I got to do is blow a bunch of freaking snow out of the driveway. Exactly, the blade edges. What's up, Leo? How much snow? I think we're going to end it. We're going to end around 2 feet, about 24 inches. I think they're going to get more like 28 to 30 in this little band a little bit south of us. We weren't quite the jackpot, but we were right next to it. I was pretty happy that we didn't exactly hit the jackpot. That last storm, I think we were in the jackpot zone. Gotta practice that. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. I bought some picks. Again, bought them, not sponsored, not paid for. sent to me. I bought some picks from that, is it Huma Schmidt? The big giant picks, the anvils, the big giant megaplectums, mega anvils, and mega all that. I ordered like 4 picks. They should be here in like 2 weeks, right? So. Snow cam? I don't have a snow cam. It's still snowing though. Well, we have, the outside cams. And I don't know, it's still coming down out there. I would say the wind isn't quite as crazy as it was. And it's not coming down at such as a heavy clip as it was. I think it's going to wind down around 11, maybe midnight tonight, somewhere around there. But it's slowing down and slowing down. These last few hours might add maybe a half an inch, maybe an inch, right? The bulk of it's over, but nobody is out doing their stuff yet. Everybody's going to wait till it ends. The wind is going to die down tomorrow. The winds are like 20 to 30 miles an hour, and I think they're going to get down to about 10 to 15 miles an hour tomorrow, and that's much easier to work with a snowblower. This is the modern version of this. So this is a 2011, 2010, 2011, it might be 2011 Kramer Pacer Classic. So it looks pretty much exactly like this guitar, except it's got the maple instead of the rosewood. And that sold for, I think I paid $249 for it. And I think new they were $399. So pretty cheap. Made a run to Habit Burger, huh? I tried Habit Burger out in Anaheim. But I got to try it again. They have a toppings bar that I probably needed to be explored more. Streets are getting cleared in downtown Boston. Yeah. Yeah, the Striker series wasn't that good. The Striker series really was their attempt at a lower cost. The Focus series, though, especially the Focus 3000, it's like they're in blue, a few different colors. The blue one is the one I really remember. They had one recently, but Guitar Center's figured out that they're basically one of these Kramers with different pickups, and that's about it. Because these necks were made by ESP. I think the bodies were made by, was it Lacido or Sports or something like that. And eventually they went to everything. The bodies and the necks made by ESP. And they tried to get a lower cost model early on with the Focus series, basically to say it was made in Japan. But it still used the real Floyd Rose. It was like the German Floyd Rose. It wasn't until the later years that they added the cheaper Floyd Rose on it. And but the Strikers always had the tough hardware, really tough, really weak stuff. The Focus was a good guitar, though. You could get a Focus and have a guitar that was 99% the strength of the American made. Pretty much the parts were made in the same factory. The difference is that ESP, I think, would finish the body versus getting this is the diamond coat, which is what Kramer was doing in New Jersey. So they did a lot of the finishing work themselves. And that's probably the big distinction with the import stuff at the very start. But other than that, pretty much the same freaking guitar. Focus is all made in Japan. Yeah. Well, they say this is made in America, but, you know, ESP made the neck. The neck isn't made in America. The neck's made in Japan. Right. Oops. The body, I think, was it Canada? I'm trying to think. Was Sports out of Canada, or they out of Pennsylvania? One, I think, Lucido. It was the other company. One of the companies was Canadian. So there's a chance that you have a Japanese neck with a Canadian body. All right. But it would be finished. They would get the blank body and the necks, and they would do the finish work. They would do they would actually spray it. That's true. They weren't getting them finished. And then they would stick a German-made trim on it. And eventually, in German-made pickups, but eventually they put American pickups on it. And they would call it the Kramer American. But it didn't say Made in America on it anywhere. They were just in the back that say Neptune, New Jersey. It's like, what does that mean? Well, it means it's New Jersey. Does that mean it was made in Neptune, New Jersey? Sure. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, Lucido is a Canadian company. Right. But again, right, there's your American-made guitar. You'll find that with a lot of companies, you know. They couldn't ignore. They can't make everything themselves. They're not making the screws themselves. They're not making a lot of the parts themselves. It's really an aggregation of parts, and then the final, like, assembly and finish work would be done by Kramer. But Kramer never made a neck in their life. They never made a body in their life, ever. Period. Zero. They outsourced all the necks and all the bodies. They never made the trims themselves. They never made the pickups themselves. They never made anything themselves. You got to remember that when they first started out, their whole thing was, we're going to make a guitar with an aluminum neck, and it went nowhere because those aluminum necks didn't really sound all that great. They were better for basses, and I think the basses did a little bit better than the guitars did. But for the most part, you know, it was a bit of a gimmick. It wasn't until they went to the wood stuff and basically capitalized on the Superstrat market, an emerging market at the time. The Superstrat market in 82, 83 was absolutely an emerging market. And the guy said, I'm going to do what Jackson and Charvel are doing, but for less money. And that was it. Oh, really? So Lucido became Godin? Interesting. That's so funny. Sports made a lot of the beaks. It would have to be before. It would have had to have been before 86. It would have to be 85 and prior, right? Because I think by 86 they're all in for everything. Definitely by 87. I think 86 is the big transition year for Kramer. Sustain on this, though. Did a blindfold test with an 83 model and a modern model. Could you tell the difference? I don't think you could. Quite frankly, with a humbucker guitar, I don't even think you can tell the difference between guitars for the most part. If you're going through the same rig with the same player and the same riffs, especially if it's the same pickups, then you almost certainly be hard to almost distinguish between the two different guitars. materials make a difference, but it's got to be a pretty wild swing, right? I'll tell you one that was huge. I played a metal guitar one time, like all, was it aluminum? Probably was aluminum. Steel would be too heavy. So it was like aluminum. It did not sound good. I think that's what the Kramer necks were too. Weren't they aluminum necks, right? So again, aluminum in guitars, I think you need the wood there. I think the aluminum, I don't know if it was absorbing too much sound or reflecting too much back, but something was going on there. And we tried, there was a guy, he'd been there at the NAMM show every year. Aluminum guitars, all different kinds of shapes. They just didn't sound good. Yeah, exactly. The tuning fork headstock, which is a kind of a rare guitar. If you have one of those guitars, it's pretty rare. They didn't sell a ton of them. For a while, you could get them really cheap, but they've probably become increasingly collectible over the years, just because they're such a unicorn, right? Such a novelty. Did you see that? Who is it? Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Weird Al in the biopic. Weird Al put out a statement. He said, "I'm sure that this is the role for which Daniel Radcliffe will be most remembered." God, I love Weird Al. So I had a little bit of fun this week for my computer buds. A buddy of mine wanted to beef up his son's computer. He said, like, what can we do? And I'm like, well, you can't get a video card unless you're willing to pay like literally like triple of retail. I'm like, you can't do it. I said, but there's ways to boost it. So he had an AMD 2700X, with like NVMe SSD running around, I think probably 1.8 gigs per second, right? Around 1,800 megabytes per second. And I think 16 gigs of RAM. And we got him not me. He got him. He paid for it all. I just put it all together for him. He got him an i7 1200, right, 12700K, and one of those new WD black, NVMEs. There's that new Mobo he got. It's a Z690. All right, it's got that PCI 4x4. So we put it all together, and he only has like an RX 580 video card, but can't get a video card. The poor kid, he's suffering with this video card. I said, you watch. I said, I'm telling you right now, this chip is going to like the performance. Got up some new RAM, some 3600. I think he had 3000. And he kind of wanted to keep that Mobo intact so he could put it in another system if he wanted. So we just took that out, left the RAM on it, left the SSD on it. He says, I'll just use this in another system. And we used his case, his power supply and everything. And the hardest part was building that friggin' fan assembly. There's only one fan out there that can do it. And my God, what a bitch putting that thing together. But we got it. We got it together. And booted that thing up. Oh my God, what a rocket. That 1207K, 12 cores, right? Yeah, right, 8 cores, 8 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. And we were getting 7 gigs per second off that drive. Just about 7 gigabytes per second. I was like, dude, this thing's got some power, bro. It's got some serious power. We're running some benchmarks Like the only chip that's faster than it is like the i9 of the same class, right? The 12th gen. And no, it was nice. It was nice. I tell you, I felt a little sad to see it walk out the door after I built it. A nice system. Try playing Crysis 3. I don't know what he plays. I think he's mostly on Steam. You know, to be honest, the only thing I know about performance is how fast it renders my video when I'm done. That I notice. Everything else, it all seems the same to me because, you know, browsing and stuff and getting around, yeah, most of my systems are fast enough. It's when you go to render a video, man, you really notice the difference then. So I have a 2700X. Up in the attic. That's my main video rendering system. I get about 3,600, right, about 3.6 gigabytes per second on that drive. That's the intermediary, right? It's like 1,800, 3,600, and 7,200 of the 3 speeds, but there's always overhead. And so I'm sort of like in that middle ground. But no, I could see he had the 2700X too, and damn. It was, yeah, it's a pretty fast computer. Tell you, I was enjoying putting that thing together. Yeah, again, Terry, it's the same thing. It's like, I'm sure when they take into account inflation, they take into account, like, the ridiculousness that is the GPU market, where people are just gouging like crazy because there's supply chain issues, right? So that's why I don't think it's going to last, because eventually production will meet demand, and you're not going to have... They're not going to look at they're going to look at a video card that sells for $299, and the price will actually be $299. They're like, video cards are up to, you know, $900. It's like, yeah, for a $300 video card, some dude used a bot to get it, and now he's reselling it on Amazon Marketplace or Newegg Marketplace for triple what he bought it for. Is it really inflation, or is it just some asshole gouging because he thinks he can? But how many are they really selling, right? So eventually, the best case, the one I remember the most. So the I want to say the PS3 comes out. I think that was the one that had just come out, right? PlayStation 3. When they went to the store, and there was a giant line of people at the Best Buy and at probably the Circuit City at the time, they were like, you know, are you really into gaming? They're like, no, I'm buying it to throw it up on eBay and resell it because these are hard to get. And I'm here, I'm a speculator. I'm a gaming speculator. And you could not believe the number of people that were in line just to buy the PS3, just so they could flip it on eBay for double what they bought it for, right? When the iPhone came out, they tried the same thing, but unfortunately for them, they made enough iPhones to meet demand. They had a record number of returns as people realized they couldn't blow that iPhone out for double what they paid for it. And people were panicking. And there was a lot of people that bought the original iPhone, the iPhone 1. And they were shocked at the ability of Apple to actually meet, you know, production demand. So that was a lesson in supply and demand right there, very quickly. So I think, you know, eventually, once this production catches up, that's all going to bust out, because eventually what things are MSRP'd for, they'll be selling at, right? A $300 video card will sell. It someday will sell for $300. But right now, there's some massive gouging going on. And so when they go out there and they sample the market and they go, how bad is inflation? I don't know that that's a particularly good indicator. Right? It feels like it's inflated, if you will. How's that? Booyah! Exactly. Don't forget that the crypto market also just dropped by about 50%. So what was profitable is now unprofitable. And that stops people from buying GPUs as well. Because Ethereum was the big one, right? So when Ethereum is $200 a coin, no one cares. But when it's $4,000 a coin, that all of a sudden everybody's a miner, right? And then, but now that it's back down to like half of that, then the cost of electricity isn't half. Then it's like, oh, now it's probably not worth it to mine. So people get out of the mining business, except for where they can go and get the cheapest possible electricity. So it's we'll see. But crypto's way down in the last 2 weeks. Huge. We have any kids? Oh, we got Buddy. What's up, Buddy Cat? I know you're stuck down here, buddy. You want to go upstairs and that door is closed. Terry says, my system is a Ryzen 9. Nice, 5900X. Beautiful, 32 gigs of DDR. I'm pretty much on the 32 gigs for most of my systems now. My last 2 builds were 32 gigs. Radeon RX 590 and a 1 terabyte Samsung 980 Pro M.2. Yeah, that M.2, that was a game changer. No one saw that coming. I didn't see that coming. M.2, damn. A game changer. Massive increases in speed. You know? All right, dudes. I have not tried any Firefly guitars. But that's a brand that's really out there, Firefly. Should check that out. Is Bobby finally here? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's my bud. I heard a little purr. A little bud purr. Nice. I'm going to call it a night. It's 9 o'clock. I'm sure they want to come down and do something. But I think my wife made American chop suey, which I love. It's good comfort food on a snowy day. No shoveling here, though. I'm holding it all off till tomorrow, and then I'll get out there and get it done. All right, dudes. Thanks so much for hanging out. Super extra thanks to anyone who contributed. Really appreciate it. Welcome to any, new members who are joining. Hello to Buddy. Buddy, let's not step on my mic. And I will see you guys here in a week. Buddy. That's the official Buddy statement. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I will do an up late. I'm kind of awake, and I didn't do a lot of work today. I mainly sat around and watched the news. No, you rock. And so maybe. And so keep your eye out for that. There you go. All right, dudes. As always, much love to my mod squad. # mod squad. # feminism. And I will see you guys in a week, if not later tonight. We'll see. It's always a game time decision. We'll see how I'm doing. But I think Buddy's ready to go. Buddy's telling me it's time to get out of here. My bud man. Buddy. Yes, bud. What else? Okay. Right. There you have it, folks. Yeah, Buddy wants Chinese. Oh, he's not alone in that. God, how do we not get? How did we not get Chinese food before today? Just so we would have it as leftovers, you know. All right, dudes. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful week. If I don't see you later tonight, and we'll do it all again a week from tonight. And until then, rock on. No, you rock. All right, later.